guys, welcome to Cartridge Blast Podcast. Today is episode 2, and we are here again with Carmine.
Hello.
And Jonah.
What's up?
So, not much has happened over the weekend, but we did have a few things we wanted to talk about. And first thing off, we'll just dive right into it. The PAX event. Or I should say the PAX EAST event.
Because there's many PAXs.
There are, apparently.
Super many.
Like 12.
There's like a South,
I'm pretty sure
West,
there's only 4, but...
Northeast. Australian.
I don't even know. There's a lot of PAX. There's a lot of conferences and gaming events throughout the year anyway. But yeah, we have PAX East.
The important thing to take away is we weren't there.
No, we just... Why go? We
weren't
get all
allowed.
the videos and all the other stuff.
So, but, we have a couple of things we want to talk about for the highlights, which there weren't many, actually, surprisingly.
Not a lot of news.
No, a lot of tech stuff here and there, but gaming-wise, this kind of is more directed at you, Carmine, because we kind of been a fan since G1, but they have a new Transformers game coming out.
Oh, really, John? I can't wait to actually play that on my console.
Oh, but unfortunately, Santa is not bringing you what you asked for this year because it's a mobile game only.
Screw this.
Yes, unfortunately, there is a Transformers game coming out, but it's mobile only.
This is the fighting game.
It's called Forged to Fight.
And there's fighting in it.
The trailer looked awesome.
It did.
And I was waiting for PS4, Xbox, PC. No, I just said mobile games only. I blame you, Jonah.
It's always my fault.
Now,
I mean, like I said, we kind of talked about this a little bit. Like, there have been more fighting games showing up on mobile, on iPad.
Yeah.
There's been an Injustice game. There's been Mortal Kombat games that are showing up on iPad now. So I guess they see a opening to kind of bring a fighting game for Transformers.
I mean, listen, the trailer made it look awesome. I don't know what kind of gameplay style it is. It looks like an RTS/fighter, but I don't know if you're actually fighting or you have to...
It looks like you're fighting. I mean, the gameplay shows that you're fighting, like 2D, 3D fighting.
And you have the team. You have to pick teams also. Like you build your team. They said that was part of the trailer.
Yeah.
I guess it's like swap out. Like once you lose, maybe another team member jumps in.
Yeah, but like five people, 5 characters for swap outs.
I will say this, and concerning right off the bat, it is mobile. I don't know if it's going to be free. Because if it's going to be free, you can already see what they're going to do. They're going to sell you the rest of the characters.
Yeah.
So
that's a fact, Jack.
I mean, from a fan of the series, it's every universe of Transformers, the animated series,
even you Beast War fans.
The Beast War fans, which I was excited about, the movie series now.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much all of the different variations are going to be in this mobile fighting game, which is cool. A lot of good for fans.
Yeah.
But again, it being mobile, it's going to be, you're going to have to buy all the characters. Like, that's what I'm really worried about. So, depends if it's free to play, if I'm going to try it out or not. I might give it a go.
I mean, like I said, it looked awesome, but I don't know, because really, when you looked at the screen for the trailer, they didn't show you any life bars. They didn't show any buttons on the screen. So I don't know if it's like something you have to tap, or is it something that you kind of just swipe? I don't know.
No, it's going to probably be, it might be a swipe. They're like, nowadays they have like the directional buttons come up, and the actual the buttons on the screen, so you can actually do the fighting.
Yeah.
But the problem is that they're not as reactive as it would be with a controller. Like, you can't slide.
Right.
Like, you can't put into a screen, like, reuse Hadouken from down slide to forward.
Right.
You'd have to literally re kind of map it to be down and forward, and then the punch button.
It's too much work. I don't want to do that. I just want to have it on a console, be able to transform into a Beast War or a vehicle of some sort and fight. That just looked awesome, and the fact that it's probably going to get dumbed down for mobile really makes me sad.
Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens with it. What's your take, Jonah? Are you a Transformers fan?
I watched one of the movies once.
Like the new movies?
Or
No.
like the
You never watched the original?
Watch
Jonah, I need to sit you down, and we have to watch the animated movie.
Oh no, I've seen like the recent movies. Like,
No.
Like,
the animated movie with Hot Rod and
that
Optimus.
sounds amazing. We should do that.
We should totally do that.
It was the Hot Rod that
Hot Rod
that sold it to me.
and Dinobots. Like
Oh.
Grimlock was shown in this trailer too.
Yeah,
Got excited about that.
I like the Rhino guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Beast-
I can't remember
Beast
his
War.
name. It's driving me nuts.
It's Rhino Man.
I could look it up with the internet
Rhino
and stuff
Man.
like that, but I'm not going to because it's a mobile game.
Waste my time.
But some other things came out of PAX East. We also had the Final Fantasy 15 Gladiolus DLC.
That looked
I
good,
think
the
there's
trailer.
actually a name to it, but I don't
Gladiolus.
remember the name.
Episode Gladiolus.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what it is.
The
What,
Phantom
I thought it was like
Gladiolus.
the Gilgamesh or whatever it was. Isn't there some subtitle to it?
I don't know. That's a subtitle, but that it's called Episode Gladiolus. I know that.
Yeah, you wrote that up. Trademarked it. But Jonah, you and I both played Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah,
Both beat it.
both beat it.
Lucky bastards.
And and this trailer looks actually really good.
I'm pretty pumped for this trailer.
Yeah.
This trailer got me pretty excited to go back and play the game.
Yeah, when I beat the game, I didn't really have much drive to play any of the end game stuff, so I didn't do that.
I do want to go back eventually, but then Horizon happened.
Yeah.
Um,
But this one is like Core comes back, and he was a big part of the beginning of the game. I'm not going to tell you what he was, but
just badass.
yeah, he was awesome.
Badass.
He
Badass.
they showed him in the trailer, like with Gladiolus, and this fills in the whole dark zone that we don't know about.
Yeah, so without going into any spoilers about the game, there is a part of the game where this would tie in based on the happenings of the story and pretty much where the characters are at a certain point of the story. Without going too much into spoilers, just in case John ever wants to beat it.
I want to.
Okay.
I want to get that far in life. Make it happen.
But the core game I really enjoyed. I think we talked about a little bit like how the story kind of bottlenecks towards the end. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with the story DLC, where it's going to be. Are we going to see a new area? Are we going to see a new zone? Or is it going to be the same stuff that we've already seen? Obviously, there's some new enemies. It looks like there's some more story to it. So it looks like you would get your money's worth for whatever the price of the season pass is. But I don't know. What do you think about it?
I feel like, well, this would be getting your money's worth from what you missed from the actual game.
Yeah.
But they shouldn't have made the actual game so full of holes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this.
Well,
is...
they plotted it out. You can play.
Planned.
You can play the campaign, and like me knowing that where the DLC, that there was story DLC coming.
Like, yeah.
I know at what points of the story it's probably going to take place. So this is not going to move the story forward for reasons you'll find out if you ever beat it. But the overall tie-in and those openings are just blatant. Like that's where the story
Jonah,
DLC is going to tie in.
Jonah, you should know by now. You never buy a full game
You
right
never
off the
buy a
bat
full game,
anymore.
No, we went
Yeah,
over
but
that in
this-
episode 1. You just never buy a full game.
This
It's
is
not possible.
This is so blatant though. It's like not. It's some of them. It's like, oh, there's something coming out later. Okay, fine. I guess I'll buy it.
There was no surprise to it. It's like with Uncharted or Last of Us. Like we didn't really know where the DLC was going to be thrown into with either of those games, like Uncharted 4 or The Last of Us, with Left Behind for Last of Us, and now the new Uncharted DLC coming out, or I guess standalone DLC. Like we knew that they were happening, but we didn't know where in the story they were going to fall. In Final Fantasy, we absolutely know where the story is going to fall and where the breakoff point is from the main story. So
Yeah, and also I think you mentioned this before we started recording, but
It was a secret. We're not supposed to talk about that.
I wanted to talk about the fact that there might be new areas. What was it? The desert and the snow cap?
Yeah, because from my understanding of it, with like the way the development worked, they kind of ran out of time with Final Fantasy 15. Like, and then certain areas where you might have passed through were supposed to be bigger areas that you can actually play through and have different dungeons, this and the other thing, and they just ran out of time. So hopefully, my hope is that this DLC or some of the other DLC actually adds those areas into the game. Yeah. And hopefully we would actually be able to expand upon the game. But whether that happens is yet to be seen.
And I hope there's going to be like little sub-quests that'll take advantage of those new areas that'll make the game, make these expansions feel like, oh, maybe it's a little bit more than just the thing they took out of the full game.
Yeah, I mean, it would be great if I can look at this game as a whole, like years down the line, and be like, all right, now with everything in it, I get it. It helps complete the story overall. But we'll see.
Yeah, and there's going to be more for the other two guys, which Also, we don't really know what happened in between there.
Prompto and Iggy.
Yeah, the whole. Oh look.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say it.
Spoilers.
I'm not gonna say it.
I know what you're saying.
Spoilers free, guys. So, but yeah, the trailer for PAX East, it made it look awesome. So
right, got you hyped. It was like
very
all right,
much so.
I'm in.
And
Gonna slay some monsters that I've never seen before.
So, speaking of another AAA game, I guess you would say that's not a mobile game.
No, thank God.
From PAX we had some like a Mass Effect preview, pretty much, or the preview.
Yeah, single player.
Yeah, it's so. What you think?
We've all had experience with Mass Effect. I want to be excited for this game. I want to like this game. I played 2 Mass Effects. I've told you this story before where I didn't play the first one. I jumped in on the second one, did the whole comic book, made my choices.
Right.
I heard that the second one was a better starting point from a gameplay perspective. So I started there and I played Mass Effect 3. And looking at what some of the gameplay has shown so far, I'm just not excited for it. I don't really know why. And like part of me is worried about it. And I don't know if it's just a matter of I don't know if I'm in the right mindset to play a game like that right now. But nothing kind of calls out to me that's like, I need to play this right now.
Yeah.
But like just the gameplay, some of the textures, it looks like even some of the gun mechanics just aren't where they were even in Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
And that worries me.
Mm-hmm.
But
a lot of it looked like a lot of slowdown. I mean, we're used to games coming out and it's a lot of, fast paced games.
And they're saying it's supposed to be fast paced. I just from some of the
gameplay, what we watched,
especially
that stream that they were doing over at PAX, it was basically like walk here, scan, walk here, scan, walk here, scan.
Yeah,
and it wasn't
for
really
the core story stuff. That's not in combat. Yeah,
and the videos online, they don't really show the details and things like that of the game, so it looked a little underwhelming.
It's almost like they're making expanding or these giant open areas just to say, hey, we have these giant open areas without feeling like something to do in those areas.
And that's the problem. You can make the as expandable as you want with or as big as you want with the space, but when you're not filling that space in with things to do,
things to destroy,
like
giant robot dinosaurs.
Horizon,
another great game.
I feel like that stream was just to show the environment. That's why they were going so slow. But at the same time, the environment didn't look that good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if you go, especially at an event, like this is something where if you want to just sit around like IGN and like, oh, hey, we're going to just show you this, the beginning, first, whatever. But when you go to an event, you want to wow everybody. And I didn't feel wowed, especially with the character models. I mean, in the beginning...
Oh, yeah, the freaking dolphins.
the
one,
Chucky face.
Yeah, the guy, if you watch the video online, the guy's talking to his girl. She looks like Chucky.
She does.
Like the doll. Literally. Just a different hairstyle, but her face was just like...
I would lose it if one of the lines is like, it's like they're building up to like one of their awesome banging scenes. Like their awesome like space banging scenes. They're just like, you want to play? And like a really, really basic stare.
Just like, yeah.
Freak me out.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I think so? Question mark.
Where's the exit button? I'm not ready for this.
Reload save.
Where's my safe word? I want out. So, yeah, I mean, that was, for us, that was pretty much the highlight of things. I mean, they kind of had a few games here and there, but that was it. A lot of it was cosplay stuff and some tech things like the NVIDIA game or the NVIDIA.
Yeah,
not the capture card, but
the one last thing I do want to say about Mass Effect 2 is that I know that some preview events, some of the outlets have been saying that the game is still very buggy. I've heard that from Alana on IGN. She said that was like the buggiest game she's ever previewed before.
Oh wow!
When she did like the 4-hour playthrough.
Mm-hmm.
But with that, it's hard to say because it could be a preview build. It could be beta. They could, like, most of the development after or during or after a certain period is pretty much just bug fixing.
Yeah.
So it might come out and it might be flawless by the time that it comes out.
Well, they'll have that day one update for sure.
Exactly.
Like every game.
They'll have the update. But you look at things like Assassin's Creed Unity, that was just buggy as crap.
Yeah.
Like you saw that Jonah too,
It
right?
was unplayable.
Yeah.
It was unplayable.
The well, from what I understand, they just started handing out some review copies of this game.
Yeah, so I guess we'll find out more. But the thing is that what will happen is with the review copies, if they get the review copies out, they're probably still gonna hold it because if it's buggy, they're going to probably hold the review until they get the patch so they can actually review it properly. But the problem is with that is that then we're probably waiting 2-3 days, 4 days, and I've probably already purchased the game.
Yeah.
You know, and unfortunately that's the way that it is. But I don't know. I want to be excited for this game, and I don't know if it's just for me. It's just like the mindset that I want to play this or not want to play it. I love the multiplayer from Mass Effect 3, but everything I'm seeing from this and knowing that it's a different developer, I'm kind of hesitant to make the plunge into
Jump
it.
right now, the pre-order. Yeah, I mean, Jonah, you've played Mass Effect 2 and 3 as well?
1, 2, and 3, yeah.
Oh, he played
I never finished the third one just because they spoiled the ending for me and I didn't want to be disappointed again.
Who spoiled it for you, Jonah? You got a name, social security number? I'll find him.
Everyone was spoiling it. It was such a big deal back then.
He made
when it came out.
He made up his own ending, a happier ending in his world.
They did go back and patch some of it to make it like they had like little animated like
like they had a thing.
When you gotta do that, you know you messed up.
I'll just make this new character Shepard and pretend everything was fine.
Carry on.
So
Shepard's just a clone. Surprise.
Yeah. So I mean, what you've seen of it so far? Same thoughts as Carmine, or?
Yeah, it doesn't look better than the other games. I like the jump thing, but that's a mechanic that shouldn't be that big of a deal.
They were really driving that home too. Like, the ability to jump and boost is just completely
got
changed
news
everything.
For you fellas, Mario's been jumping since the 80s.
Yeah, like it's some revolutionary like game mechanic.
Look what we discovered. But
I'm like, you've been able to fight gravity. Good job.
Yeah, I mean, for all we know, it could be it could be game of the year. But
absolutely.
For right now, what we've seen, we're not too impressed. I mean, when you have games like Horizon and you know, everyone's caught up on Zelda right now, it's hard to get into a game that is revisiting itself after all these years.
Yeah, and the thing is too is that I feel like there's usually a little bit more hype. There's some people talking about it or a game usually like did anybody really think that when Zelda came out that it wasn't going to score 10s? You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Like, there was enough hype, enough talk, there was enough buzz about it, but for Mass Effect, I feel like there's little to no buzz.
I feel a lot of the buzz was last year when we first started getting new trailers for it, so even early gameplay. I just think right now it's kind of battling itself amongst other high-quality games.
Yeah, it's been quite the first quarter.
Yeah, and that's my biggest problem with what they showed at PAX. You would figure that they would just be like, all right, let's just boom, like let's just do it, like something awesome. And it was just kind of, I mean, actually some of the guys in the audience were making fun of the
for not being able to play.
That was the highlight of the whole thing.
That was the highlight of the whole thing.
So funny.
That was great. So to close this topic out, I mean, what do you guys think? You have anything else to offer?
I feel like they should have actually hyped it up a bit more, because I didn't know it was coming up this soon until like last month.
Yeah,
I thought it was far off.
That's what worries me.
Yeah,
is that there doesn't seem to be any kind of hype around it, and they did a lot at PAX East, which is good, but I don't know. Like, I guess we'll see at the end of the day. As everybody should wait for reviews, get a better sense of what's going on out there, watch more gameplay as content creators come out with it.
Yeah.
But being a fan of the series and seeing what I've seen so far, I'm not convinced.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's just a me thing. I think at the end of the day, it's still going to probably score 8s and above. But just from what I've seen, it just made me very uneasy with certain aspects of what they've shown so far. So.
Yeah. So, and just to close it out quick, my quick thoughts on it. Yeah, I agree with both of you guys. The thing that I read up was they're going to start, the dialogue actually in this one is supposed to be more than, I think, the second and third one combined.
That's
or something
a lot of dialogue. So
I feel like they're going to try to cram this huge story into this game. I mean, that's great if you want to do that, but yeah, it's, you know, as more games come out, you're going to start getting people having less attention spans for games like this. So.
Yeah. So close out Mass Effect. A lot of dialogue. Big open spaces with not much in it.
Yes.
Doll faces. Hey, everyone.
And some poor gun mechanics from what I understand. And evidently the preview builds are buggy.
Very buggy.
So I'm probably not off in my initial impression.
No.
Okay. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page.
But stay tuned for more information on that game.